Okay, now I'm going to follow different steps that we will have to use on the exercise related to this context. So first of all, we are going to set the variable x, and we are going to see which is the distribution of this variable that later will be needed to check the conditions. Once we have set the variable, we are going to find out which parameter are we being asked to solve. It can be either mean, variance, or proportion. Then once we have set the parameter, we have to check the conditions. They are different for every case. We have different conditions for mean and for variance as well as for proportion. And finally, once we have checked that all these conditions are met, we are going to run the test with the command run.
Now we are going to solve the exercise following these several steps. First, we read the statement and we have to compute the variable. So we put x is equal to the number of correct answers. So number of correct answers. Now, following the statement, we can see that the n, that is the sample size, I'm going to put right here, n is equal to 12. To see what parameter we have to know it, we said that in the statement, we said that we have to be the mean and the variance. But first, we have to check the conditions to know if we can use it. First, for the mean, we know that it must follow a normal distribution, that is the mean, and also that the variance, that is the deviation, must be unknown. So in the statement it says nothing about this value, so we know that these conditions, that we met this condition. But to see if this condition is fulfilled, we have to, I'm going to put it right here, we have to see if it's normal. So with the sample size that is equal to 12, we know that if the sample size is greater than 30, we can apply the central limit theorems. That this means that it can follow a normal distribution, but we know that it's not greater than 30, so our sample is lower than 30. So in this case, we can run the t-test in or R command. So I'm going to put here the t-test, and depending on the value of the t-test, we can know if it is like similar to 1, we can know that the sample is normal, but if it not, it doesn't fulfill the conditions. And the only condition for the variance is that it must be normal. So solving the condition for the mean, we can check the same condition for the variance.
Now that we have opened our commander, as we said before, the sample size, as we can see in the statement, is 12, because we have 12 different outcomes, which is lower than 30, so we cannot apply the central limit theorem. In order to check normality, we are going to do the normality test, but first we have to create a data set. So for that, we are going to click on data, new data set. We're going to put the name that we want. In this case, we're going to put data. We click on OK, and here we can see that we can add different rows or columns. So as we have 12 different outcomes, we're going to create 12 rows. Okay, now in the different boxes, we are going to add the different values that we are given in the statement. Another option is also create an Excel file with this data, and then submit it or import it into our commander. Okay, now that we have filled all the boxes, we are going to click on OK. And now we can, if we click on data, we can check the table that we have created. This is the table that we have created. So now we can run the normality test. For this, we are going to click on statistics, then on summaries, and we can see the option of test of normality. We are going to click it. And we can pick the variable if we have changed the name in the dataset. We can see the name, or in this case we have not changed it, so we have B1. We are going to choose that, and in this case we are going to choose Shapiro-Wilk, and we're going to test it, okay? So here we can see that our value is 0.88 more or less, so it is near to 1, so we can say that this variable follows a normal distribution. Now that we have checked this condition, we can run the test. So for this, we are going to go to basic statistics, statistical inference, confidence intervals, and here we have confidence intervals for a sample and different options, in this case confidence interval for the mean. We are going to click it, and we are going to put, as we have said before, the variance is unknown. We are going to choose the variable that is P1, as we said before, with a confidence level of 0.95, and two-sided, because it is an interval, we want to see the two sides. So we click on OK. And here we have the outcome, the result. We can see that with a 95% of confidence level, we have that we may find this mean of the sample between the values of 60.27 and 74.56. This doesn't mean that the real value is included there, but because we are talking about estimations, but we're going to use this sample in order to find an interval for this confidence level. Okay. Now, as we have already checked normality test, we can also run the variance test in order to find the confidence interval. So, as we did before, we're going to go on basic statistics, statistical inference, confidence intervals, confidence for a sample, and for the variance. Here, we're going to choose the variable again, and everything is the same. So we click on OK. And we get the final result. As we said before, we can conclude that the variance of the sample may be located between 63.36 and 363.99 with a 95% confidence level. This is the final outcome.